Guys, this is my 1991 Nissan 300ZX, and we have finally fixed this.
Good shit, dude.
About that time, everybody. This is my 1991 Nissan 300ZX, and starting today, we're gonna be fixing this. I fucked it up. It's my fault, it's 100% me. It's not the car's fault, it's not hard to work on. I just didn't know any better. I'm gonna first start by telling you guys what happened, catching you guys up on what we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna get this engine out. A new one's gonna go in. You guys can learn on the process of what happened and how to avoid it if you too would like to own a 300ZX and be stupid like me. So I've had injector problems with this car since I've owned it. I've swapped from Gen 1 to Gen 2 into less style injectors, and that did remedy the problem, but then an O-ring broke and was stuck open and just dumped fuel into the engine, and it decided to fuel lock the engine. So I'm gonna do an oil change tomorrow. That's all gasoline, oh my God. That's not good. Okay guys, so bad news. I got a little breaker bar on my crankshaft. And as you can see, even if I lay all my energy into this girl ain't moving. It's not supposed to be this hard to turn my engine by hand. And I am in neutral. So unfortunately, this motor is hydro-locked. Me being stupid at the time in the parking lot that I was at, continued to crank the car, thus adding more fuel, more, and eventually it just stopped working. So I thought maybe there's just a fueling issue. New fuel filter, new fuel pump, and then still nothing. And then one day after letting gas evaporate, I started and it ran. And I was like, huh, by golly Jesus, this car is reliable. And then it ran and then it seized. Now what do? I need to pull this engine out. We're gonna start by draining all the fluids, getting this car up on jack stands, because as you can see, there is not much room for activity here. So, security. I'm gonna start by draining all the fluids into that container. That's gonna be radiators for coolant, engine oil, and transmission oil. If you build a 300ZX, you know that the intake is right on the nose panel, and yeah, I did a little bit of work to this. My PTU has been relocated, as you can see. This is a PTU, also known as an igniter from Mitsubishi that goes in this car. We might try deleting this at some point, but for the main part, we'll just keep it as is for now. Anyway, yeah. Phone right now just because I'm under the car. Right now I'm working on the exhaust to get that out. Welcome back everybody. We are here for the second day. Mylo has officially landed from California, so we're gonna be working on the Z today. Yeah, go try again. No, I'll show you how to do it in a second. Just like that.
Oh yeah.
Z32 certified, girl. YouTube make everything look easy. Difficult or the most challenging things to get into it is a plenum pull. Mylo and I've done this maybe like 30 times. Check out my other video if you want to see that. But I'm not gonna run through the steps on how to actually do it. I'll do a brief one. Unplug every single harness that you possibly can, every single vacuum line and coolant hose that you possibly can. There are 8 12mm bolts here. Throttle position sensor, intake tracks have to come out. 2 12mm side feeds, and then the 10mm EGRs that are under here, both sides. Take those out, and this pops right up. Engine side, everything should be disconnected. We should be good to go there. We're gonna try to disconnect the transmission first before taking out the engine. That way I can work on fixing my starter.
Yep. Look at that brake.
Time 9:09. We're pretty much on the dot, Mylo.
Oh, good shit, dude.
We have just completed my very first transmission drop on the 300ZX. These two top bell housing bolts were very difficult, and then obviously dropping transmission with this 150-pound piece of literal lard has been a challenge, but Mylo and I did it together. Dude, the call-outs were insane. Down, more, stop, up, back. Nice and easy. I got trust issues, as anybody would, you know, buying an engine for the first time. And I said, hey, you know, how's this? You have all the stuff to put back together and get it to start for me. How about instead of $500 for the motor non-running, how about you put it back together and I'll give you $1,000?
And you're gonna say,
Erin, we got Mylo. This is the new engine that is gonna be going into the Z, but we got a lot of stuff that we need to do beforehand to get this ready to put back in. My plenum being put over, did the coolant bypass. So you take hose here, then hose from here, hose here, and now you can delete all the lines off your intake plenum. And new plenum gasket, and now we are going to put my plenum back on. And yeah, be sure to do this right, because if you fuck up putting the plenum on, there's a big vacuum leak and the car doesn't run. So 10:03, and we all got the new engine into the car. Transmission still pending. I can 1,000% understand. No, we're psyched, and new engine's in, but I can 1,000% understand why Z32 owners don't be documenting their shit on how to do it, because they just want everything to just be over. But now we're here in this stage, and I'm gonna skip to when it's actually done. Thomas came to help me out, and he's gonna just be removing the wrap off the Z while I just got the transmission bolted, and I am just gonna work on the other side of the car. So, God damn! A month and a half. We started in February, and it is currently the 3rd of April. Ignore my hair, I was just riding my bike. I've been having a problem with the pilot bearing. The manual and automatics are different, and that's why the transmission did not fit in, because I didn't take the automatic transmission bearing out. I tried the bread method, I tried the grease method, I've tried cutting it, and it's just not budging. I grabbed the AutoZone puller, and I know that sucks, so I wanted to take some time to show you guys the Pittsburgh Harbor Freight one. So, crossing my fingers, because this is literally one of two things that I need to do that are so simple that I can put this car back together the way I want it to be. Oh my god, and it's just that easy. That's so cool. Anyway, so where we're at right now is the transmission is fully bolted in. Ignore the lights. This is all the lights that I have. I got the cabling set up. I'm gonna put in the drive shaft now, and then all I have to do next is put the alternator cables on, or the connection for the alternator, and then I'm done working underneath the car. Well, if you guys didn't know, right here, up in the front by the battery, this little panel down here has a bunch of your primary fuses, and your big one, this one right here, it's called your fusible link, and this is, consider it like your main fuse. This one fuse connects the battery to the remaining of the accessories, and it's its job to fry itself in order to, if there's a short or an over jolt of electricity, to burn itself to the ground in order to make sure that the rest of the fuses and electronics and wiring don't go bad. I put the wires on the alternator inversed. Obviously, I was just trying to get this car back on the ground as quickly as I possibly could, but as soon as I put the negative battery terminal onto the battery, this thing caught on fire, and the only thing that worked were my high beams. I didn't switch the alternator yet. I just disconnected the starter first, and it wasn't the problem. And then I went to the alternator, took those off, plugged this back in, and lo and behold, it's the alternator. It's not bad, I just put the wiring wrong. But now, if I go to my electronics here, I haven't seen these lights in so long. A high pressure clutch. The actual pressure needed to depress the clutch pedal needs to be adjusted, so that metal rod that your actual foot is linked to the master cylinder, there's some adjustment there. Valve covers were leaking, and then there's something sizzling underneath the intake plenum, which I'm assuming is caused by the valve cover leak. All right, Caleb's here. So, I know it's been hours, but we are ready to go.
Feels like days.
Yeah.
Feels like days.
We've been dealing with a problem. That fusible link, I figured it out on the alternator. There's a little grommet that goes on the back of the signal cable so that it doesn't ground out. And that's what was shorting. So ground and signal are on, and the alternator should be Gucci. And intake plenum's on. We figured out what was leaking or smoking. Got some InGen hard pipes. And we should be good to go. These turbo cans, I'm only gonna need 3, and we're gonna move the Z, and we're gonna do this as quickly as we possibly can. How about that? We have finally fixed this car. New engine swap. Honestly, motor swapping this car is probably easier than doing anything else to it. But since I had the motor out, I did everything else to it. EGR delete, AIV bypass, PCVR, all that stuff that you can find on this website here that I use. It's really useful, not sponsored. Huge. Anyway, it's a huge godsend, so definitely give that a look if you're doing anything to your 300ZX Turbo or NA, including all of the deletes. Do all of them. It'll save you a huge amount of time and headache when things break. But anyway, I now understand exactly why all 300ZX owners tend to skip through and skim through, especially on videos, all the tutorial stuff. So Mike, Zebra, and Billy Built. You guys are huge inspirations, by the way. You guys have done a phenomenal job documenting these cars. I saw those comments on my last video on the Z32, and keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys have helped me a bunch. So hopefully I meet you guys at some point. Without further ado, here's 3 cinematics, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are excited to see more, I don't know who I'm lying to here. I didn't film any cinematics recently aside from those 3 clips, so I'll get back to you on that. Guys, we might be screwed. Shit. I don't know what's wrong, but if it just sounds like that, then that's kind of bad.
Wanna come with me tonight?
Yeah, no, I'm down. Can you pick me up?
Why? Is your car broke again?
No, I put it back down afterwards.
That 90s car smell.
Got that on video.
On a vehicle in my life. In my life. Whoa. You'll be hitting me with the VG, such a hard engine, whatever. I'm like, no, it's not. You guys y'all don't understand.
Try not that bad. Is that as bad as a Subaru?
This is the coolant bypass right here.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Anyway. Items off. My car leaks oil, man. Yeah, well, not anymore. There's no more oil in it. Oh, fuck.
There we go.
No. You literally can't put a socket over this anyway.
Sure.
Nissan, you fucking pieces of shit. Why would you design this like this? Don't answer that question.
Because they're high on crack.